It's your daily dose of Donna, and today is Monday, March 27th. Welcome. Hope you had an amazing weekend. I was just chatting a little bit on TikTok Live before I got started about my weekend, about my day, about how I'm a little bit in a funk. I'm not going to lie, because the news is just so devastating every time you hear another school shooting. It's like, Jesus. And I don't want to get into that because this is a light and upbeat podcast, but it would be wrong of me as a mother to not think about the victims, and geez, there's got to be some change there. But anyway, we're going to go into some fun stories and pop culture. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my fun weekend and a story that kind of ties into what I want to talk about today. But before I do that, I just want to take a second, because over the last 5 days, I've had so much growth over on the podcast. Like, my podcast numbers are triple what they normally are. My YouTube subscribers have grown to over 2,000 subscribers in 5 days, which is bananas. My Instagram followers have grown. My podcast listens, I already said that. My TikTok followers, you guys are bomb. And I appreciate you so much. I'm feeling the pressure, especially in the YouTube community, because everyone's like, I got a comment that stuck with me over the weekend. And it was like, well, I found you because of your Heather McDonald conversation. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like you. I think I'll just give you another shot. I'll stick around for a minute and see if I like you. I was like, geez, what am I hope you like me. Listen, I don't just talk about Heather McDonald. I don't just talk about Jeff Lewis. I don't just talk about Vanderpump Rules. I talk about a little bit of everything. I just think there's a lot of things that we like to deep dive on that not a lot of people are talking about. Today we're going to cover a couple of bigger topics and stuff, but it's just interesting. I guess if you just like me, you're going to stick around, And if you follow me over on YouTube, welcome. And if you follow me over on Instagram, you'll get to know a little bit more about me, Just so you know, I'm a mom. I've got two boys, 7 and 10 years old. I'm a former casting director. I helped discover Zendaya. I helped bring Jenna Ortega to the Disney Channel. I got a lot of background in that kind of child actor space and acting space. I was an agent at a big talent agency here in Los Angeles for a year in 2017, I want to say. And then in 2018, I went off and started my own business. And so this is just kind of it's a passion project that's turning into a career, a new little shift in my career. And I'm really into it. So welcome to Daily Dose of Donna. Just one couple of things. I got so many wonderful reviews on the podcast app over the weekend, really incredible. So thank you so much. But one of them, I'm just going to read: honest, kind, entertaining. Donna is so refreshing to listen to. She's upbeat and sweet, delivering her content with kindness, getting her point across with thoughtfulness. Thank you, Meadow Cleo. I appreciate it. Every day I'll read another review. So keep bringing those in. My goal is to get 100 ratings. Right now I'm at 79. I need what is that, 21? I can do math. Got a lot of comments that I look like Dorit. That's an interesting one. I've heard that before. Candace Cameron, Dorit, Kristen Chenoweth, and Jackie from Real Housewives of New Jersey. Those are kind of the go-tos. Okay, so let's talk about a couple pop culture things. I'm going to start with my weekend because it's going to lead into a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills thing. So I don't know if you guys know or if I've talked about it or if you've listened to the episodes before, but I have a little connection to some of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I live here in Los Angeles, obviously, and I am friendly with Teddy Mellencamp, who's a former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We were friends before she got on the show when our kids were very young. We worked out together all the time. We would go to the gym and we even vacationed together. We went to Mexico together with our families. And then Crystal Minkoff is also part of that, kind of bigger circle of friends. So we have a lot of mutual friends and I get to kind of see them out and about and, on social media, et cetera, of course, all the time. But I was over at a local restaurant called Thai Show on Saturday night. It's near my house. It's in Sherman Oaks. And it's kind of like a hot spot if you're over here in the Valley of Los Angeles. And across the street is their sister restaurant. I say sister restaurant. It's not. Same owners, though, called Casita. And the owner of the restaurant, one of them, he's a friend of ours. And so he was telling us, he's like, they're shooting Real Housewives of Beverly Hills tonight across the street. Stop it. I was like, I need to know everything. Now, I was on a double date with my husband and another couple, and I couldn't just like up and leave and go across the street to check out Real Housewives of Beverly Hills taping. So I texted him and I was like, "You got to send me a picture. What's going on?" And the picture that I have, I posted it on social yesterday. It's a picture of a cameraman that literally looks like Tom Sandoval. It's like Tom Sandoval needs a new job, and it looks like him. Same douchey mustache and everything. I mean, sorry if you're listening to this camera guy, but he's shooting, and Garcelle is in the scene. Now, here's the thing. The owner of the restaurant that either got the picture or took the picture, like, did not take a picture of who Garcelle was sitting with. And I wasn't there. So I didn't want him, be annoying and be like, who's the other girl? So I just let it be. I mean, he has a restaurant to run. What am I going to do? Like, keep texting him? So, but Garcelle was shooting Real Houses of Beverly Hills on Saturday night. Now, a couple other Real Housewives of Beverly Hills kind of interesting stories. We know Denise Richards has filmed this season. We know that Kim Richards has filmed a scene with Kyle and Dorit hiking. We know that Camille Grammer has filmed this season. Like, there's been a couple of different sightings. So either they're just really trying to amp up the show because it's a little bit Boris Noir, or yeah, I think it's probably just that. I think they're just trying to amp up the show. I have to be honest, and I say this with love. I'm really not a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills fan anymore. I used to be. I used to be obsessed with it. Used to not be able to get enough. It hasn't like drawn my attention, and I think I even kind of like stopped watching half the episodes in the last couple seasons. I'll watch it here and there, but it's more of like one of those background shows while you're playing, Candy Crush on your phone. Um, I can't imagine like what that group is hanging out and talking about. Like when you saw the picture of Kyle Richards, Dorit, Sutton, Garcelle, Crystal Minkoff, and Erica Jane in Vegas with their cowboy hats and cowboy boots. I'm thinking like, what could they possibly just be talking? Like it's not interesting to me, but you never know. You never know. Like it's all going to be in the editing and it's all going to be in that trailer. Because speaking of trailers, Real Housewives of New Jersey just had a new midseason trailer drop this morning, and I was like, damn, this show is good. And I was not into Jersey these last few years, like at all. For whatever reason, I just started watching it this year or this season, because I think I was bored one day and I had nothing else to do. And I'm really into it. I'm like loving the new girls. I think it's a good show. So I don't know. Are you guys watching Real Housewives of New Jersey? Are we into either of those? But the midseason trailers are just where it's at. The Vanderpump midseason trailer is so good. Jersey is very good. The Confrontationalist says on TikTok, Jersey is really good this season. I mean, we can go into a deep dive about Jennifer Aiden and like, ooh, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I say this was as someone that's like a big talker. Like I am a chatty Kathy, but I can't handle the amount of, there's a lot of talking going on. There's a lot of talking. I guess that's a Real Housewives thing, right? Okay, so that being said, we talked about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We talked about Real Housewives of New Jersey. And then, I was listening to Jeff Lewis last week Friday's episode, and Shannon Bedore from OC was on the show. She and Jeff are really close friends. They share a birthday. And she was talking about the fact that, by this time last year, so last year on March 10th, they were shooting the reunion of Real Housewives of OC. This year, and they filmed the same schedule, but this year it's March 27th and they haven't even premiered, meaning there's no reunion scheduled yet. So she thinks that maybe it's going to premiere in like May, June, July. I'm like, that's crazy town. What is taking so long? Is it really an editing issue? Is it really, are they trying to make lemons out of lemonade, or I should say orange juice out of oranges? Like what, lemonade out of lemons? How do you say it? Make lemonade out of lemons. Okay. Anyway, I hope that's going to be good. She says it's a really good season. Meanwhile, Shannon Bedore is like single and ready to mingle. Apparently, according to that show, she is like hooking up with men. She's got a facelift situation. She pulled in her neck. She's lost 20 pounds. Like she looks good. She's ready to go. I'm curious. I'm curious how that season will go with her and Tamra. But it's so funny because I really don't like Shannon Bedore on the show, but I love Shannon Bedore on Jeff Lewis, like when she's doing like a live interview and being herself. I think the Housewives franchise is a shit show behind the scenes. I think they all are, absolutely. And I think that Bravo is probably like just trying to make drama and create a good show, whereas like you have Vanderpump and they didn't have to do a thing. And look how good the show has become. Like, we're all looking into Vanderpump. Okay, there is a local restaurant called Tipsy Cow here in Sherman Oaks, and they do Vanderpump Rules live watch parties. And actually, it's where one of the scenes are where Lala and Katie and Raquel went to and like had a drink and dinner the first time that Raquel had talked about the fact that she like wanted to hook up with Schwartz. I think it was before that, like that scene where she asked him to. So it's interesting. I need to go? I feel like I need to go to a Vanderpump Rules watch party. Just need to find a friend that would be down to go with me. It's like 9 o'clock. Oh, maybe it airs earlier. Maybe they have DirecTV. Okay. But also, by the way, and then I'll like move on. I want to watch something like Vanderpump in silence, alone. Like, I don't want it to be crowded. I don't want noise. I want to see it. I want to hear it. I want to soak it in. I want to soak in that Vanderpump. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Soak it all in. So over the weekend, I asked my audience on Instagram, I said, I have some time today to binge a show. What should I binge? Daisy Jones or Love is Blind 4? And when I tell you, it still to this moment was like, it ended at like 52 and 48%. It was almost neck and neck. So many people voted Daisy Jones. Daisy Jones did win out over Love is Blind, but I have to be honest. Oh my God, it's so funny. One of the comments, I could never watch Vanderpump Rules before this. Now it's all I want to see. It's so true. You became like, if you're not a fan of Vanderpump Rules, you now are. You say Daisy Jones. So I chose Love is Blind. And I'll tell you why. I had laundry to do. I had stuff going on. It was like a background show. All of a sudden, I end up watching the first episode. I can't stop. I'm like, I think I've watched 3 episodes. My husband wanted to watch Succession last night, and I was like, it took everything in me to say, yeah, let's watch Succession. All I wanted was Love is Blind. Now, meanwhile, Succession goes on TV, and I love that show. Maybe it was because it was 9 o'clock at night. I fell asleep so fast. Succession to me last night was like Ambien. I do have to rewatch it because I hear it was very good. But Love is Blind 4, holy moly. Now, this is no spoilers because I've only watched 3 episodes. I'm not going to give away any of the couples so far. But when I tell you, it is so good this season. They have taken so much more care into showing us kind of what's really happening behind the scenes, like in the pods. There's a lot more interaction. In the like women's living quarters and the men's living quarters. I felt like the last seasons that it was just, a few couples, they focused on them in the pods and then that was it. And I always thought about what if you get, cast in Love is Blind and you're one of those people that just, isn't really finding someone. What happens to you? Do they decide like after day 9 or 8 or 6, like, are they asking at the end of the day, like, who do you like? And then you say yes or no. And just say, Donna says she likes Tom. Oh my God. I'm just going to talk about Vanderpump names. Tom and James. I would say, I like James and I like, Peter. So does that mean that, I don't have to have another date with Tom? Is it like a Bumble situation, like a Tinder situation? Do we have to match before we decide who gets in the pods the next day? I'm so interested. Why aren't we seeing a behind the scenes on Love is Blind? And actually, I do think that one of my husband's friends works on that show in the RoboCam department, which is like basically the pods. So I need to find out everything. I'm just going to, maybe invite him over and get him a little sauced, get the scoop of Love is Blind. But anyway, where I am right now, we haven't left the pods. We're still in the pods. It's really good. There's some like, backstabbing type behavior between the girls and the guys. It's like a little bit more dramatic. Lots of feelings, lots of crying, lots of energy, lots of like passion, lots of it's a lot. But one thing happened, and I won't say who, but this is this one thing that happened, and this is really not a spoiler alert. But this is like something that would happen to me. A guy and a girl, I'm not saying who they are because I don't want to give it away, are on a date and like he is telling her that he really cares about her. Like they are now a few dates in, there's clear feelings and she really likes him too. Okay. So, but you can kind of tell that they're drinking because I think he has like some beer or wine in front of him and she's got like, it looks like tequila. And I think they were eating sushi or whatever. They do these like date nights. And so he's like professing basically his feelings. And he's probably a slow talker. And we all know slow talkers. Like, I don't know about you guys, but slow talkers kill me. Like, kill me. I listened to podcasts and like 1.25. I needed to be like a fast conversation. So he was probably a slow talker, and she had been drinking some tequila. Maybe she'd been day drinking. Like, we don't know, right? We don't know what's in those gold cups over on Love is Blind. And he says his feelings, and then it's quiet. And he's like, I'm not going to say her name, blank. Hello? Hello? And he's standing there, and you just see her sleeping on the couch. Now, number one, I have two questions about this. Number one, how boring was he that you fell asleep? Or how drunk were you? And number two, how heavy are you of a sleeper? That if someone's like, hello, calling your name, hello, and you have got the bright lights in the pods, how heavy are you of a sleeper? I'm jealous. I literally hear when the wind blows, I'm up. Anyway, I'm going to continue Love is Blind. I love it. Are you guys into it? So, okay, so we covered, and then the last, like, just little Vanderpump news was you guys did see that Raquel, Rachel, and Tom Sandoval are basically a couple. They were seen at Musso and Frank's on Friday night after the reunion taping. I think that was a Friday. And then they were seen no, that was a Thursday. And then Friday night, I got a DM from a girlfriend of mine who is on Instagram with me. And she's like, I am at Sunset Marquee right now, right next to Raquel, Rachel, and Tom Sandoval and Priscilla Presley. So they're hidden in the town, those two. They are a couple. Now, I wonder if they have friends, because I know a lot of Raquel, Rachel's friends have ditched her. We know this, like from Sheena's podcast and whatever. And then Tom Sandoval, I don't think he's going to have a lot of friends unless they're Tom Sandoval's extras from the band and he's paying them. I have a feeling Schwartzy is against him. And so many of you guys agreed with that too on my TikTok, that you think Schwartzy was the one that beat him, or like tried to beat him up at the reunion. All right, let me know your guys' comments. Thank you so much for the subscribes. Thank you so much for the follows. Thank you so much for the 5-star ratings. If you're here on YouTube, of course, make sure to put on your little, bells and whistle thing, notification. Love you guys. Thank you. And let me know if you have any content requests in my Instagram stories. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.